Since its rebirth on the Xbox, Ninja Gaiden has forged a reputation for fast action, tight control, and big burly boss battles. Amazingly, Team Ninja has managed to forge much the same thing with Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword for the DS. By not settling for anything less, this portable Gaiden largely lives up to its ninja heritage. Dragon Sword takes place 6 months after the events of the Xbox rebirth of the series. The story centers on the legendary Dragon Sword and the awakening of an ancient evil. The story delivers what you'd expect and sets the stage for big fights with big demons, but it feels a bit compressed. There's definitely something major going on, but it feels as if a full story arc was squeezed into a standard-length comic book. But even if it's not epic, it's definitely suitable for a tight, action-driven adventure. In the game's opening scenes, you're introduced to a female ninja named Momiji. You'll take control of the new character to practice up in the game's touchscreen controls, and then begin the real journey with Ryu Hayabusa. Your quaint ninja village serves as sort of a hub world, but you'll take on each stage in a linear order. You'll fell a few fiends, take on a boss, and return to take a breather. It's a standard action game formula, and it works. Back at HQ, you can talk to the ninja villagers, including a helpful and conveniently placed old man who can sell you useful health upgrades, weapon boosts, and various new forms of ninja magic. Once you're suited up, you'll head out again to take on the next stage. Katana in hand, Ryu moves from area to area, killing enemies and solving simple puzzles to pave the path to a boss. Many rooms contain magical barriers that only disappear when you've killed everything the game has to throw at you. It's a cliche, but it does keep things obvious, which is a help with handheld games that may go untouched for a week or two. The Demon World levels are visually distinct, but there are reoccurring features, like long vertical chasms, which require you to bust out your ninja wall flips. While not completely straightforward, moving forward and killing enemies will usually get you to where you need to go, and there are good odds you'll run into a simple puzzle normally solved by blowing in the mic, whipping out ninja magic, or tagging targets before you can reach the climactic boss battles. Speaking of which, expect to see a few instances of recycling, making certain encounters less exciting. At around 6 hours, Dragon Sword isn't especially long, even when compared to other handheld games. At least there are leaderboards that you can upload your scores to. When it comes to being a ninja on the DS, you use your stylus to make Ryu use his katana. For normal movement, you'll point to move and draw an upward stroke to jump. When you draw a line across enemies, Ryu will see to it that his sword and enemy you've marked get acquainted. Quickly tapping enemies will hit them with your shuriken or arrows, although it's a little less responsive than slashing. Overall, the controls feel good and the action is solid. Your simple slash combos improve as you upgrade your blade, and you can even pull off double jumps, Izuna drops, and flying swallow attacks with a few quick strokes. You can tap and trace symbols to perform different types of Ninpo magic, which do a good job of inflicting big damage or solving particular puzzles, but they also all feel very similar. Having these advanced moves to throw in makes the combat much more rewarding. Speaking of advanced moves, you'll definitely want to master your most powerful attack, the ultimate technique. Rapidly scrubbing the screen builds up a blazing aura around Ryu, which can be unleashed to cover the entire screen in circular slashes. The technique may be a little too ultimate though. It tears through anything and actually improves your end of stage ranking, so spamming it repeatedly definitely becomes a temptation. The speed and visual fidelity in Dragon Sword are impressive. The game's technical performance is faultless, and the vertical screen orientation was the right choice for this high-flying, acrobatic brand of ninja death-dealing. Dragon Sword's pre-rendered static backgrounds look good, but the transition from one view to another can sometimes be a little awkward. Occasional zoomed-out views can obscure the action and impact your control, but it's a small compromise, and the fast-moving 3D action is worth it. Other notes include new anime-style cutscenes which, along with the lack of blood, gives Dragon Sword a slightly different personality than the typical Team Ninja game. It doesn't feel kiddie by any means, just a little less serious. Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword proves to have a sharp edge with good tech and smooth pacing. It also manages to turn the stylus into an effective ninja weapon, making it play like no other game on Nintendo's little dual screen. It may be on the short side, but there are unlockable difficulty settings for those who thirst for a real challenge. If you want ninja action, you don't have to be a fan of the series to appreciate the unique approach of Dragon Sword.